This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jen Dingman from Alpena Boys and Girls Club. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So long since you've been here. Welcome back again. It's been quite some time. I know Brad probably didn't give you much of a choice. He said, hey, Jen, guess what you're doing today? But
he did, but that's just okay because it has been quite a few years since I've been back here. So it's really good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again, too. And before we started taping, we just talked about the dynamics of the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena, you know, where it's been, where it's come from, where it's growing, what happens there. And your average census a day is up 23%.
Yes, it's we're seeing, you know, in the 80s to 90s every day now. So that's a huge growth, especially from when I first started at the club as an AmeriCorps. So.
And now when summer comes, if summer comes, but school will be out. So when school is out, I mean, you know, the census will increase even more.
Yeah, we're really thinking that we're going to average anywhere from, you know, 100 to 125 kids, hopefully a day. We've already started to see quite a few new members coming in to sign up for the summer, and we just love seeing all the new faces and the returning faces also.
And you know, thinking of kids sitting at home alone, watching TV or being on their computers or their phones, or being at the Boys and Girls Club with their peers and with a great staff, all the fun activities that you have planned through the summer are just unbelievable. And a nice snack and a nice hot lunch and or a dinner. I mean, I guess that doesn't, to me, it's like it's a no-brainer. They should be at the Boys and Girls Club.
They should be at the Boys and Girls Club. We have so many different opportunities and things planned for them this summer. And we do have a little bit of technology in there also. We received some different grants and funding to get some new iPads. And so one of our staff members is going to be doing a program called My Future, to where they can earn different badges and learn how to do a little bit of coding too. We are looking forward to taking them outside as much as we can, though. We have a great atmosphere and just so many different fun things we can do for them.
Okay, so you're closed until June 17th.
We are unfortunately closed. We have to get our new staff orientated and ready, and just our building ready. You know, we want to do some painting. We want it to be fresh and new for the kids. So we will be reopening on June 17th at 12 p.m. We will be serving a lunch at 1 and a snack at 4.
Perfect. So after all the people running around the building, it needs a little bit of time and energy to get it back to snuff again.
Yes, it definitely
does.
Yes.
And then your dinner raffle gala, I understand it was a huge success.
Oh, it was wonderful this year. The outpour from the community and just the support of everyone there was amazing.
Okay, and we're asking people to sponsor a kid this year. It's a simple, inexpensive thing to do, to sponsor a kid for a year, and 65% of the members are on scholarships. That's amazing.
Yes, and our membership is $10 for the school year, $10 for the summer, or $20 for the whole year. And a lot of times some of our parents aren't able to pay that, and so they are given a scholarship. At our gala, we were actually asking some of the attendees there to sponsor our members for the year. And so they would come up and, you know, pay the membership fee, and then they would get a picture of some of the kids from the club.
Wonderful. So anyone out there listening, if you want to do something worthwhile in your community for $20 and get reap a lot of benefits and rewards, it's sponsor a kid at the Boys and Girls Club for $20 for a whole year.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about some summer partnerships and collaborations.
So this year we have a lot of different branches out there. We will actually be taking our members once a week to walk to Art in the Loft. We are starting a culinary art program there, and it'll be separated by age groups. So our tweens and teens will go one week, and then our elementary age kids will go another week. And that actually was given to us by Art in the Loft scholarships. So they are providing our members with scholarships for that program.
Wonderful.
So not only will they get to cook something and eat it, they'll be doing art. And that just opens up a whole new avenue to inspire these kids to dream and to create and to, you know, build different relationships with people in our community too.
perfect. Any other collaborations going on out there?
We actually will be having a authentic yoga program once a week, and that
Okay.
will be held on Tuesdays. I'm not sure of the time yet, and that will be taught by Amanda Bubaltz. This is a new program. It's Mindfulness Matters, and we just want the kids to be able to go outside and really learn how to breathe deeply. And she just really shares inspiring words that can get them through some of the more difficult days.
And you know, when you think about young people starting with yoga at this age, you know, it means for a lifetime of good health and good mental health and physical health too.
Most definitely. And that's really what we're hoping to instill in a lot of our members, is that good health. We also offer a free food program.
Okay.
So any child from the age of 6 to 18 can come and eat the food, and then they have the opportunity to enjoy the activities too. We do a summer book club because we understand that we don't want them to lose what they've gained
Right.
in school.
Okay. And so what are your hours during the summer?
So during the summer, hours are from 12 p.m. until 6 p.m. Like I mentioned, our lunch is served at 1, and that goes for a full hour. So if you're not able to get there at 1 or even 1:30,
Okay.
we will still be serving, you know, closer to 2. And then same for our snack program. It goes from 4 to 5. So if a kid comes in at 4:45 or even 4:59, we will still serve
Okay.
them a snack.
And you know, I always like to mention to people in the community too, if you're let's say you're a fisherman and you love to fish and you can't get anyone to go fishing with you, I know a place where you can get a bunch of kids to go fishing. You know, why not come down to the Boys and Girls Club, sign up to be a volunteer. You can take them right there on the river fishing and help them and learn, and that's a lifetime skill.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many other wonderful things that people in our communities do, arts and crafts. And, you know, come to the Boys and Girls Club and find out how you can be a part of the summer program and work with the kids. Now, will you be going any to ball games this year or doing any of that stuff?
I'm not so sure about that yet. We
Okay.
are in the works of looking at some different things. We are hoping to, you know, journey over to NOAA since it's so close and do like a week-long program with them.
Yay.
And then we also have our Youth Volunteer Corps group. So that is for ages 11 to 18, and they actually come to the building at 9 o'clock in the morning and volunteer until about 3 p.m. And we have a new YVC director. Her name is Kat.
Yay.
And so, yeah, she's full of energy. She's ready to go. She's got so many different projects for the volunteers planned
Great.
this summer.
So how do people find out more about all these things we talked about?
So they can just call the Boys and Girls Club, 356-0214, check out our Facebook page, or check out our website. Our Facebook page gets updated daily.
Okay.
So some of, you know, if we are going to have a field trip in a couple weeks, or if, you know, they want to just figure out what the day is going to look like, check Facebook.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jen. Great to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I'll be right back with some information on the NEMSCA food program following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests today are from NEMSCA, and we're going to talk about the NEMSCA food program. I have Tammy Dean and Bonnie Gauthier. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
So last time you both were on, you know, we had talked about the NEMSCA food program, and I was amazed at the numbers, but I have to say, I read the NEMSCA annual report, and you folks blow all your goals out of the water in every one of your categories, always. It's a great organization in our community, and you do a wonderful job. So I'm not surprised that the food program is so wonderful. So who wants to start to tell me about the food program?
I will.
Okay.
We are excited. Coming in November, we're going to have some changes going on in our food box. The senior food box has been the same for years now.
Okay.
Well, the government or the USDA has just come down with some adjustments. They're going to start getting some vegetable soups. We can switch items up from month to month, so we're going to have like a rolling menu that we're going to try to use.
Great.
They'll get brown rice instead of white rice all the time, a couple different cereals. So we're really excited to see what we can do with the new foods that we're going to be getting. And hopefully the word of mouth of the seniors will get it out there so our numbers keep picking up.
Wonderful. But Bonnie, how do you get your referrals? How do people get referred to you to be able to get the food boxes?
Well, we do have NEMSCA's website, and a lot of the other programs promote our food programs as well. But most of the time, it's really from those other seniors out there that talk to their friends, neighbors, family members, that kind of stuff. A lot of the local community, Salvation Army, you know, those other programs out there that offer help to a lot of our seniors will also let them know, hey, this is their distribution dates. And the application form takes a matter of only a couple of minutes.
Okay.
It's name, address, income verification, and they're on the program. If they're in need of food, we're gonna get them on there. So
Do you have any idea what the income guidelines are?
it's 1,384 for one person in a
Okay.
household. It's 1,832, I believe, for
Okay.
2 people, and then however many people are in your household, it just goes up from there.
Okay.
But if anyone has any questions, they can always call our warehouse, our NEMSCA line. It's 358-4700, and anyone that answers the phone can
Okay.
go over the guidelines as to how many people are in their household, and then would they qualify. So.
Okay. Give me an idea what a normal box might look like.
For the senior program, you're going to get a couple units of milk. You'll
Okay.
get a cereal product, some sort of meat product. It could be canned salmon, canned tuna, canned beef. You could get chili or beef stew. You'll get a pasta or a rice.
Okay.
You'll get a block of cheese every month. You'll get juice every month. You get peanut butter every month. It's meant as a supplemental. It's not meant to feed you for the month, but to add to those in need of food. It just gives them more for the month.
Okay, perfect. And Bonnie, what areas do you cover?
We cover 11 counties for our food distributions. We go as far north as Sheboygan. We go to the west as far as Crawford County and Otsego County, and we go down as far south as the West Branch area. So
Okay.
we cover a pretty good section of Northeast Michigan.
Now, what about seniors that are homebound? Is there a way that they can get the items also?
Many of our senior centers will take boxes for
Okay.
them with their home meals. You also have what we call special lists. There could be a community member that is willing to deliver boxes for those folks, which is a huge help because when you have a caseload, we have 4,070 slots for the senior program alone that we try to fill every month. And without those folks, we wouldn't be able to reach them because we also have the quarterly food program
That's
also.
what I was going to say. Now, you keep mentioning seniors, so what's the other program?
The other one is the emergency food program. It's once every 3 months.
Okay.
It's a box of food that gets ordered. So we get like a menu of food that we can order off of.
Okay.
And we are now going to do the ordering for that so we can do a variety.
Okay.
It could go, this last time we had fresh cheese and fresh oranges that was
Wow.
allowed to be in it. It just depends on what's out there, so we try to make a nutritional box up, and that one's for anybody. Anybody that's in the need of food, you come in, sign your name, address, and how many's in the household, and you will walk away with a box of food.
Wow, and so how do people find out about that program? Same way?
Yes, they can call that same phone number,
Okay.
358-4700.
Okay.
And we try and get it out there. It's in the newspaper a little ahead of time. I try to get it on the community calendars and that kind of stuff, and word of mouth.
Okay.
We also did just start up a robocall phone system,
Oh, great.
which has been working just tremendously for us. If you're on our list, we're going to call you the day before and say, don't forget, we're
Wow.
going to be there with our food delivery day and time. And it's been working terrific. So,
Now, you had mentioned, Tammy, that there may be someone who would deliver those meals. So obviously you're in the need of volunteers.
If we utilize volunteers tremendously.
Okay.
Without the volunteer base that we have for both programs, we couldn't run the programs. They come to the warehouse and help pack.
Okay.
We have volunteers that run our TFAP sites. You have the volunteers that are at apartment complexes that will pick up the food for the folks,
Oh,
or at
wow.
the
Yes.
senior center. So the food programs is run, there's 4 of us full-time employees right now, and then run also by all the volunteers.
Wow. And so how do people sign up to be a volunteer, Bonnie?
they would call us, stop into the warehouse there on 23
Okay.
in Ossining. Or if you're in your outlying areas, any of those 11 counties that we service, a lot of the senior centers could get you in touch with us. We do a lot of our distributions out of the senior centers, and we can always use help at any of the sites.
We also utilize another program through NEMSCA, which is the RSVP program.
Yes.
They have connected with us, and we've gotten several volunteers from there also, and it's another avenue for people to volunteer through. And it's, again, another wonderful program that NEMSCA has. Client Services as a whole has the utility, the homeless prevention, the weatherization, the utilities, could be the gas, the electric.
Okay.
We have so many programs that are underutilized that we try to reach out to everything.
And those aren't just for seniors, those programs, correct?
No, they're not.
RSVP is, but, okay.
Right. But that, I believe, is 55 years or older. It's
Oh, that's
not-
young.
Right, correct. Where our senior program is for those 60 years of age or older.
Okay. Well, I'm just really excited to hear about all these great programs, and as you said, underutilized. I really hope that people will come forward and say, hey, I'd really like to, that meets my income guidelines, I'd really like to get the food on a monthly basis or every 3 months for the other one. You know, what a great thing, and just the idea that, you know, can help stretch that budget.
And definitely they should, if they have any kind of need, visit our website.
Okay.
It's www.nemsca.org.
Okay.
And they can look on there. All of our services are posted on our website. So phone numbers and such, they just need to call.
Thank you both so very much for being here.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having
Thank
us
you.
again.
You bet. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning Jeff Blumenthal, Director of Administrative Information Systems. Thank you, Jeff, for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Jeff, you and your team cover an enormous amount of essential and complicated work for the college, and that is all the underlying electronic, digital capacity that touches every area of the college. This must be challenging for you when you wake up in the morning.
It is, because there's lots of things and challenges each day, and it's not just dealing with the administrative end of things. Oftentimes, of course, we deal with the educational end of things as well. So we're trying to support our faculty, but we also have to support all of the functions that go on, including human resources and accounts receivable and all of the security issues and credit card authorizations and everything that deals with that as well.
And all of that is digital anymore.
Absolutely.
So one of the areas of concern, even from a layman's standpoint, is cybersecurity. How do we protect against people who are trying to get into our system to do malfeasance? There's a lot to that, I bet.
There is, and it's something that's really started to emerge and become more and more of an issue. And the reason being is that there seems to be a greater interest by individuals that are from outside of our country, and as we know from issues in the news and the recent items that have happened with elections and so forth. But it's not just in that area, it's within education. And interestingly enough, education is a target. And the reason that it's a target is because a lot of those folks out there realize that perhaps they don't have as great of defenses in place and individuals to deal with those types of challenges. So as of late, they're described as advanced persistent threats. And basically what that entails is there's a constant push by entities outside of the U.S. The big players in this, of course, being China, Russia, and North Korea. And those individual countries all have different reasons for why they're trying to get in and steal information from educational institutions. And the biggest target and the biggest weakness, of course, are people, because they make decisions based upon emotion. And the easiest way to target individuals is through sophisticated phishing attacks. And those phishing attacks have become more prevalent within the past year, not just for us, but for schools across the whole country. And there's been a large rise in that because, again, they realize that we're an easy target, the educational institution sector.
So I've seen phishing, and I think I've experienced it. It's phishing with a PH
Yes,
at the beginning
it is.
of it.
Yep.
What is phishing? How does that work?
Well, obviously it's not fishing like we would do out on our lakes and streams. It's a little bit different, but it's the same concept. I mean, they're trying to catch people at a weak time. And oftentimes those messages or email messages that you may receive are targeted towards individuals that may be, for example, like the president or an administrator or a key administrator, because they realize they have the keys to a lot of information. So if they can find a way to trick them, and oftentimes those types of activities are based upon trying to get them through emotion, an emotional response. They might read a message and it might be telling them that they know something about them or that they need something from them and make it sound very urgent. And then they oftentimes will embed a link that will take them to a site that looks very similar to something they've signed into before and try to capture their credentials. And once they've captured their credentials, then they have the keys to the castle. And that's where things can get really tricky. And then of course there's the other type where they'll provide a link that might go to some place that could then download and install a piece of malware, which can be something malicious that could basically hide behind the scenes, wait for the right opportunity, and then launch an attack in order to get information from, it may be student information, it could be financial records, a multitude of types of things.
Wow, that's some scary business. And this goes on all day, every day, constantly. At a high rate, right?
Yes, yes. And so it's something that every institution, not just education sector, the healthcare sector is a big target out there. The banking industry is a huge target. And so they have a lot of people on staff that are constantly monitoring those types of activities. And then the other aspect of it is trying to educate your end users, because as I said earlier, the biggest target is the end user, because those are the ones that are going to make decisions based upon an emotional response that's generated from those types of phishing attacks, those looking to get information from those people. So the big thing, again, is trying to educate our end users, our staff.
And you folks do a great job of that. We've got about 2 minutes left. Tell us, this is the really scary part of it to me. Tell us, the viewers, a little bit about ransomware, how that works.
You know, that's become more commonplace, of course, within the healthcare industry. And of course, you read about it in the news now where cities, city councils, organizations that, well, the recent one that was in the news is Baltimore. And they were held at ransom because, again, it was launched through an email. They were able to find their way into the internal network and then encrypt all of the records of that particular city, financial records, personal records, human resources, all of those types of things. And then they tell the individual that in order to have that information made available to them again, that you have to pay a certain amount, usually it's in Bitcoin, which is something that can't be traced. And sometimes they'll hold true and they will release those records, and then oftentimes they don't, and they just will continue to drag it on. So the ransomware is again, it starts out with an attack to the individual, and then the way that it goes from there is they get the keys to the castle, and then they encrypt all of that information and tell you that it won't be released unless you pay a certain amount.
Yeah, that's scary. We got about 15 seconds left. I wish we had more time, but we offer cybersecurity.
Yes,
and
yes. One thing I just want to emphasize is that anybody that, especially the young people out there nowadays, there's a huge demand for training and the need for people in the workforce in cybersecurity. There's not enough people out there to do it, so we really need young people to take advantage of that opportunity.
Jeff, thank you so much for what you do to, on a range of levels, but protect Alpena Community College. It's very important work. Thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town, and we'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.